Hello, hello. And for me, it's good morning. It might be good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Welcome to this live stream. I'm going to take 1 second to make sure that this live stream is actually public and visible. I realized the last time I did this, it was made private without me choosing to do that. So give me 1 second and I'm going to make sure that this is public and good. Okay, edit privacy. Here we go. I don't know why it does that, but it sure does. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to do is also, hi, please say hello as you're hopping on. I am also going to tag followers because I know y'all like to be involved. Hello, Adrian. Good morning. I can see your name now. I couldn't see it on StreamYard. So I wanted to come up here and talk a little bit about correctness because this actually came up in a conversation that I was just having with students who are considering joining Design to Shine. And one of the things that I always do when someone books a clarity call with me and they're like, well, I'm not really sure how to make this decision, is I always ask them, do you happen to know your authority? Which is a concept we're going to talk about in a second. Because my goal always, when someone comes in contact in my world, when someone books a clarity call, when someone is asking me about a program in person or whatever it is to help you choose correctness. That is always going to be my number one priority, is that you are choosing correctly for you. And that, for me, as a human design teacher, I would be completely out of integrity if I wasn't guiding my students towards correctness, because that is everything that human design talks about. That is the premise, the basis of everything that we learn, study, expand upon, is how do we live in a way in the world that is correct. So I want to talk to you about what it means to be correct, number one. What does that actually mean, to be correct, to live correctly? And number two, how does human design help us figure that out? Okay. So the first thing I want to talk about is correctness. When we are living correctly, we are living a life where we are moving through our experiences, the experiences that are designed for us to be able to receive something from them that supports our experience of reality. So correctness is not about everything always going the best. Correctness is not about never making mistakes. Correctness is about choosing experiences, moving into realities that are supportive of our growth. So it means that we are choosing things that are consistently amplifying our experience of reality and moving us towards a greater alignment with self. This is ultimately what correctness means. People get this twisted sometimes. It's like, well, I was listening to my authority and then I ended up in this relationship that, didn't end in marriage. And I'm like, okay, well, what did you receive from that relationship? If you were guided to that relationship according to this concept I'm going to discuss to you in a second, and it turned out to be a correct assessment of your authority, but it didn't give you an end result that you were expecting, that doesn't mean you weren't listening to your authority. That means you were guided to this experience for a significant reason, and your job now becomes to mine the gem of why you were led there. What brought you to that experience? Why did you fulfill that relationship? What was in that relationship that unboxed these significant understandings or knowings of self for you? Because then that would make it correct. Does this make sense? Okay. With correctness, what we are avoiding is continuing to live into experiences that are misaligned for our being. With correctness, we are avoiding just being lost in the fray, saying yes to things or yes to people, or maybe backing out of things or backing out of people because of our mind, right? Versus because something is correct for us. So this is a conversation of what is aligned for us at any given moment. And how do we make ourselves a receptive participant in living correctly in the world? Okay. So this is the definition of correctness. This is how we look at correctness when we're looking at human design. Now, human design has a concept within it known as the authority. For most people, this is an inner authority, an inner guide that allows you to understand how to make correct decisions. Okay? With the exception of the reflector aura type, which does not have an inner authority, they have an outer one. It's the same as their strategy, and it happens to be lunar. Okay? So there are 7 different authorities that a person could have. Human design teaches us we have 7 different authorities. Those are 7 different ways that individuals are wired to make correct decisions for themselves. Let that sink in for a second. That's 7 different intuitive mechanisms by which we are wired to make correct decisions and to know what is correct for ourselves. Okay. So, the first thing I want you to understand about the authorities, regardless of the one that you have. So if you are a generator type, manifesting generator or generator, you're going to have emotional or sacral. Those are the 2 that you're likely going to have, emotional or sacral. If you are a manifestor aura type, you have a little bit more variety. You can be an emotional manifestor, an ego manifestor, or a splenic manifestor. If you are a projector type, you can have 5 different authorities. You can have emotional, you can have splenic, you can have ego, you can have self-projected, you can have mental projected. Environmental, it's called environmental, short mental. If you're a reflector, you have the lunar, which is an outer authority. So many different types of authorities that we can all have, even projectors. If you are a projector, you can be an ego projector, you can have a splenic projector, 2 completely different processes of making correct decisions, okay? You can have a generator who's a sacral generator, another generator, a man-gen who's emotional, different processes for making decisions. So I want you to notice that every authority, with the exception of the lunar authority, which I talked about initially, is inside of us. It's in the body. It's in the body's experience, okay? Whether it's in the gut, the sacral, or the emotional center, or the splenic instinct, or the ego, the heart, or it's in the sense of self, the magnetic monopole, or environmental, which is about acoustics, which is about hearing yourself, which is happening inside of your body, yourself, okay? Every authority is happening in the body. It is a body-based experience. It is not a mental experience. So right away, we understand one very core thing about making correct decisions in life. They are not mental. No correct decision comes from the mind. No correct decisions comes from a yes or no checklist, pros and cons. That's not what we're doing. Correct decisions come from the body. They come from within us, and they have a specific mechanism by which we correspond with them. Okay. So when you are making a decision, it is filtering that decision, whether it's signing up for a course or hiring a coach, or again, I take when my clients come to me and say, I'm having a difficult time making this decision, or I don't know what I should choose, I always take them back to their authority. Let's look at your authority. Let's look at how you engage with your authority, and let's see what the authority is telling you. Because it's not my job to tell you, yes, sign up for this thing, even if it's my course, even if it's going to benefit me. That's not what this is about. It's about finding a correct fit for you. What is correct for you in this moment? Where is your correctness? My responsibility as your guide is to help you make correct decisions. It's not about me. It's not about what's going to benefit me or not. It's about you and your correctness and guiding you into understanding and living that. That's what this whole thing is about. So I want you to understand that you are wired with this internal GPS, this internal navigation system, to guide you to the correct decisions for you, the decisions that are going to lead you to an expanded version of yourself, the decisions that are going to help you step into greater alignment, a greater sense of self, a greater sense of self-trust, a greater sense of surrender. That's what authority is about. And this is how authority and correctness work together. I just saw your comment, Lucila. Thank you very much. So I want to remind you, whenever you are coming up into a decision and you start to feel that squirreliness in the decision, this is the mind. This is the mind doing mind things. This is the mind. Usually what will happen is you will have an instinct about a decision. You will feel like, oh yes, or oh no, whatever, which way it goes. And then your mind will kick on and it'll drown out that initial imprint that you had received about making a decision. And so my goal as your guide is to bring you back to that initial instinct. If you're splenic and sacral, definitely. If you're an acoustic authority, then it's about reflecting to you what I'm hearing so that you can hear yourself and what I'm saying and understand. If it's about self, it's about reminding you who you are and seeing if this decision you're going to make matches up to your sense of self. If it's egoic, it's like, what's in it for you? Is your heart in this? It's reminding you to check in with your heart, right? If it's emotional, it's reminding you that you have these beautiful waves of clarity and you need to ride those waves and experience them and have a relationship to them in order to get to a point of clarity, right? So my goal is to remind you, come back to your authority. You are the authority of your life. No person, no institution, no thing is an authority over you. You are. You are. And my course, Designed to Shine, which is open now for enrollment and it closes Sunday, the whole message interwoven throughout the whole program is that you are an authority on you. You are an authority on your business. You are an authority on you. Any decision that you're going to make for your business after Designed to Shine will be run through this filter of your authority, of everything you're going to learn in that course. Anytime you have to hire a marketing person or, hand something off or make a big investment or maybe teach a workshop or speak somewhere, anytime a decision pops up in your business, and there are countless decisions that we have to make daily professionally, you will be able to run that decision through your understanding of self, through your own design, and decide if that decision is aligned, is coherent with who you are and how you want to serve in the world, or if it's not. And then you can very confidently say yes to the things that you want and that are in alignment with you, or say no with confidence because you know it's not in alignment. It's not a missed opportunity. It's not in alignment. It's not coherent. There's a sense of confidence that befalls you of knowing what's right, what's not right for me in this moment. And you don't have to stew in this like, oh, I don't know, I'm not sure, right? Nullifies that so quickly. Lucila says 110 recommend. I was in the first batch. Yes. And this particular round will be special because it's the last live cohort. It's 12 weeks of live Q&A on top of all of the teaching modules that you're receiving. It's the alumni coming in and supporting the new students as well, because I'm opening up the live Q&As, which were before they were just for the new students, are now going to be open to all the alumni as well. So it's a very special group, this last one in particular. But I think probably the most important thing that comes out of this program is that sense of self that's so sturdy and strong and unshakable. And it becomes like you just continue to fall in love more and more with knowing who you are and knowing how you came here to show up in the world. And you become less and less concerned with what anybody else is doing or how anybody else is doing it. That to me is everything. That is the biggest gift that I as a teacher can hand you, is that sense of deep, deep self-respect and knowingness, so that no matter where you are in the world, years from the moment that you've taken this course, years from the moment that you've come in contact with me, and everything that I taught you is like a memory from the past, you will understand self with this level of deep, deep respect. And you'll never have to be put in a position that you don't want to be in, or that it's a poor fit for you because you don't know self. That's like the greatest thing I can leave with you. So I just wanted to come on here and share this because, again, it came up during a conversation today I was having with a student who was kind of clarifying if this was the right program for them to be in right now. It is closing April 7th. So just a little reminder, Sunday we'll be wrapping up enrollment. And if you decide that you want to join this round of DTS, or maybe hop on a quick call with me to clarify some questions for yourself, you're able to do that. And you can do that right here. So Phoenix Legacy, which is my website, just phoenixlegacy.com/DTS, will take you to the page. You can read about the program. You can read about why I created the program. You can schedule a clarity call if you need. And let's say you are booking a clarity call now this week, but you don't have time to get in before enrollment closes. I will still honor your enrollment if you decide to join. So if you have to get on clarity call with me, let's say next week, and we can't fit it in before enrollment, I will still get you into the program if you decide that you're ready to join. Okay. So I hope that this live stream was empowering for you. I hope that it was inspiring for you. I hope that you really walked away from this feeling like, yes, I can be an authority in my life and I don't have to let other things be authorities for me. That was really what I wanted to drive home. And that you now understand what it means to live correctly, and that it's not about everything being roses and perfect all the time. It's about being led to experiences that are going to build you and build a stronger sense of self and really unpack the things that need to be unpacked so that you can live the fullest version of who you are. So as always, if you have any questions or comments, please post them below, tag me so that I'm sure to see them. And I love you all so much. I feel so deeply honored that I get to be a part of this community everywhere that I'm live streaming, and that I have so many beautiful students that continue to flood my life and inspire me and move me. And it just feels like the greatest honor in the world to be able to do this work and to teach this work at the capacity that I'm doing it. So thank you for being here, even if you're just watching and you just watch all my stuff. I'm grateful for your presence. I'm grateful for your energy. It is felt, and it is deeply appreciated. And for all my students, you know that I'm obsessed with you and I love you and I'm so proud of every single one of you, and I'm always around for you 100%. So all of my love. Thanks for joining me. I'll talk to you soon.